I want to tell you about the piece I find most confronting and most liberating about the work I do. Every stuck pattern has a lesson inside it, not a punishment, not evidence of deficiency, not proof of how damaged you are or how much work you still have to do. A lesson. The relationship that keeps replicating the same dynamic. Different individual, same architecture. It's not proof that you are fundamentally unlovable. It is your nervous system recreating familiar conditions because it has not yet resolved the original wound. It is, with extraordinary loyalty, presenting the same examination paper until you are equipped to answer it differently. So I watched this in my own family. My father recreated certain patterns from his experience as an immigrant in every environment he entered. I recreated versions of his in mine. With the benefit of the retrospectoscope, the examination paper was identical. The lesson, it turned out, was the same. It is the most personal and the most triggering experience that I can share with you because, as many of you will seen, the energy that moves when I discuss my father still has some metabolism to happen. So I'm Dr. Jen Draper, and this is episode 6, The Unrecognized Lesson, and why curiosity is the most clinically precise tool that I know for unlocking that lesson. So let's talk about how patterns can become our teachers. Here's 3 examples of patterns that are lessons wearing the costume of problems. The work that alternates between hyperproduction and collapse. The brilliant output followed by depletion, followed by shame, followed by overcompensation. The lesson? Rest is not regression. But the program says rest is unsafe. And until that belief is updated at the level of the body, the cycle continues. Number 2, the relational pattern that replicates itself across partnerships. Different individuals, startlingly similar dynamics. The overfunctioning, the emotional management, the resentment that accumulates in silence. The lesson? Connection without self abandonment is possible, but the elephant has not yet received evidence of this. The physical pattern that announces itself before every major vulnerability. The migraine before the difficult conversation. The gut disruption before that boundary that you need to set. The lesson? The body is not betraying the timeline. It is accurately reporting that the nervous system has not yet learned to hold vulnerability without bracing. So I recall a patient, a man in his 50s. He'd been a GP for nearly 30 years, and he came in having just ended his second marriage. Now, he wasn't in acute crisis. He was in what I can only describe as bewildered resignation. I don't know why I keep doing this, he said. I know the pattern. I can see it clearly, and I still can't seem to stop it. So we examine the architecture of both the relationships, not the details, but the actual overarching structure. And what emerged in both was at the point where the relationship deepened, where genuine intimacy became possible, he had almost imperceptibly begun to create distance. And I asked him, what did intimacy feel like in his early relational environment? A long pause. Then dangerous, like it could be taken away. So the lesson his pattern was carrying was intimacy precedes loss. The elephant had learned this with extraordinary accuracy, and until the body received a new relational evidence held in safety over time, it would continue to protect him from intimacy by dismantling it first. So this pattern was not his failure. It was his elephant doing exactly what it had been taught through his early relational experiences. So here is a mechanism that most self-development approaches miss. Shame contracts your nervous system. Curiosity opens it up. So, when you approach a repeating pattern with shame, and that includes holding that question in your mind, well, what is wrong with me? There's got to be something wrong with me because, these partners keep leaving me. It's the second time it's happened. You are activating your lizard, and the lizard speaks in absolutes. So, when you're creating a threat response in relation to your own internal experience, then you're contracting the nervous system and it cannot update, it can only defend. So, instead, when you approach the same pattern with curiosity, what is this actually protecting? What did I learn? And does this still believe about safety? Then you're creating conditions in which the lizard begins to orient towards safety rather than threat. So an open, expanded nervous system can update, a contracted one cannot. So this isn't philosophical, this is neurological, based in neuroscience. And curiosity is not soft. Curiosity is the most precise clinical tool available for creating the conditions in which change becomes possible. And that doesn't mean having all of the different permutations and having to pick one. It just means recognizing that there will be unknown unknowns, and that is okay. So the next time the pattern shows up, ask not what is wrong with me, but this: what is this pattern still trying to protect? What does this pattern still believe about safety? And what would have to be true for this response to make complete sense? Because it does make complete sense, given what was learned, given when it was learned. You're not stuck because you're broken. You're stuck because the lesson has not yet been metabolized. And when it is, the pattern will dissolve, not through force, but through completion. So, in episode 7, we're going to talk about what happens when you stop waiting for that external authority to tell you what you already know. I'm Dr. Jen Draper. I'd love it if you could join me for it.